13 Ways to Shape Your Destiny the Stoic Way. The philosophy of Stoicism teaches us that we can shape our destiny by focusing on what is within our control, our judgments, actions, and reactions. The Stoics believe that by cultivating virtue, reason, and self-discipline, we can find true freedom and tranquility amidst any external circumstances. This ancient Greek philosophy, founded in Athens in the 3rd century BCE, has influenced great thinkers and leaders throughout history like Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, playwright Seneca, American President Theodore Roosevelt, and investor Naval Ravikant. While the specifics of modern life may be different, the Stoic principles for living an excellent life remain highly applicable today. Here are 13 powerful ways, inspired by Stoic teachings, to shape your destiny by mastering your mind and making the best use of your circumstances. 1. Focus only on what you can control. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Epictetus. The core idea in Stoicism is to make a clear distinction between what is within your control and what is not. You cannot control external events, other people's thoughts and actions, or natural phenomena like the weather. However, you can fully control your own judgments, intentions, desires, aversions, and actions. By expending your energy only on what you can influence and accepting with equanimity what you cannot, you'll experience less frustration, anxiety, and resentment. As Marcus Aurelius said, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. 2. Cultivate virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Virtues are formed in man by his doing the actions. It makes no difference whether one cultivates the earth or the mind, for both alike require cultivation. Cicero. The Stoics believe that virtues like practical wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control are the highest goals we should strive for. By living with integrity, compassion, and excellence in all domains, we discover a life of eudaimonia, human flourishing and fulfillment. As Epictetus counseled, if you seek truth, you will not seek victory by dishonorable means, and if you find truth, you will become invincible. With the strength of noble character, we can shape our destinies while also serving humanity well. 3. Practice negative visualization. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. Seneca. While optimism and gratitude are beneficial mindsets, the Stoics also suggested occasionally contemplating potential misfortunes through an exercise called negative visualization. This involves vividly picturing the temporary loss of people, possessions, or abilities that you value. This practice isn't about becoming negatively inclined. It's about voluntary discomfort, so you appreciate your blessings more fully and develop greater resilience. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, keep before your eyes the rapid mutation of things and scenes in the universe and their endless reformation. 4. Live in agreement with nature. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics taught that to live virtuously is to live in harmony with the natural laws and reason that govern the universe. This means accepting what cannot be changed and making the best of your current circumstances rather than railing against them in futility. Nature is not malicious, Stoics held. All phenomena arise as a product of an intelligent, providential cosmos. By aligning yourself with nature's course, as Seneca urged, what need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. 5. Embrace your cosmic citizenship. We were born to work together like feet, hands, and eyes, like the 2 rows of teeth, upper and lower. Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics believed we are all citizens of the cosmos, spiritually united by our spark of divine reason, regardless of external differences like nationality, rank, or education. Our individual fates are intertwined with humanity's collective destiny. Just as organs in a body cooperate for the whole's welfare, we must contribute our role for the flourishing of all people. We can shape our lives purposefully when we see ourselves as members of a common human community. 6. Be self-sufficient and self-reliant. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Epictetus. While the Stoics valued social bonds and citizenship, they emphasized becoming self-sufficient and self-reliant. True freedom comes from detaching from externals like fame, luxury, or power, and finding contentment and peace primarily through your own efforts and reason. By cultivating an inner citadel, where your motivations come from your own value judgments rather than social pressures, you become impervious to whatever storms arise externally. As Seneca wrote, "Until we have begun to go without them, we fail to realize how unnecessary many things are." 7. Constantly practice self-discipline. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. Seneca. Stoicism teaches that in any situation, you always have the ability to apply self-discipline and decide how to respond constructively. This inner power allows you to transform difficulties into opportunities for growth rather than allowing them to become excuses for losing self-control. Your intentional, reasoned choices in line with virtues like courage and temperance will shape your character and your destiny over time. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." 8. Be mindful of impermanence. Think of the universal substance, how all things derive from it, and how they change into it again, and so cease to be. Marcus Aurelius. Everything in the cosmos is in constant flux and transformation. Pleasures and pains, achievements and losses, life itself eventually return to the source from which they emerged. The Stoics counseled keeping the reality of impermanence firmly in mind. This awareness helps reduce cravings and aversions to transient events. It also motivates us to live each moment with agency and appreciation, making the most of finite opportunities. As the Roman emperor wrote, "Stop allowing your mind to be a slave, to be jerked about by selfish impulses." 9. Cultivate a more fatty love of fate. Put from you the belief that I have been outrageously treated, and there will remain no longer the least spark of anger left. Epictetus. While Stoics don't believe in divine predetermined destiny, they did advocate for adopting a wholehearted acceptance of the unfolding events in life as a cosmic whole. This mindset, known as a more fatty or love of fate, means embracing all that occurs with humility and gratitude. This challenging practice allows you to view challenges as opportunities and avoid becoming bitter or resentful. As Marcus Aurelius put it, whatever the universal nature assigns to you at any time, were it something for your present or future or enduring existence, were it something involving the external world or your inner self, that situation is unfolding for the good of that nature as a whole. 10. Periodically self-examine and self-correct. In the morning when you rise unwillingly, let this thought be present: I am rising to the work of a human being. Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics considered self-examination and continuous improvement of one's judgments and character to be of paramount importance. They recommended creating evening routines and meditations to calmly review your actions and identify areas for growth. By maintaining self-awareness and vigilance, you can recognize whenever you've strayed from virtue or reason so you can promptly self-correct. In this way, you'll stay oriented toward your will direction in life. As Seneca advised, sift your mind each night. 11. Clearly define your incentives and deterrents. If you desire to be good, first believe that you are bad. Epictetus. Stoics advised clearly defining and internalizing the incentives that will motivate you toward virtue and excellence, and the deterrents that will prevent you from acting unethically or falling into vice. These deeply considered principles become a sturdy foundation for intentional living. For example, what is naturally admirable and worthy to strive for? Personal integrity, self-discipline, wisdom, and service to humanity. What is to be avoided? Fraud, pride, self-indulgent pleasure, and excessive luxury. When you define these reference points for yourself, you can shape your character accordingly. 12. Study and apply Stoic precepts continually. Philosophy is a way of life, not just a theoretical discipline. Epictetus. The Stoics didn't see philosophy merely as an intellectual exercise, but as a code of conduct to be rigorously practiced every waking moment. They believed the study and application of Stoic teachings was a lifelong journey toward virtue, reason, and tranquility. To truly embody Stoicism is to perpetually observe yourself and train your mind to respond to all events in alignment with Stoic precepts. As Seneca urged, we should not allow ourselves to make an exception when it comes to philosophy, and while cultivating virtue, engage in the opposite of virtue. Continuously revisiting Stoic texts, premeditating adversity through negative visualization, practicing misfortune voluntarily, and reminding yourself of key principles are all critical. As Marcus Aurelius exemplified, what is not good for the swarm is not good for the bee. 13. Model Stoicism to positively influence others. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Marcus Aurelius. When you sincerely embody the ideals of Stoicism like wisdom, justice, self-control, and service to the world, you positively influence people around you and society as a whole. You make the world more tranquil through your own tranquility. Your courage, reason, and gratitude in the face of adversity models resilience for others. Your considered choices spread more wisdom and compassion. In this way, you shape not just your own destiny but contribute to humanity's collective flourishing. As Epictetus taught, no great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a figure. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I will give you an answer befitting a philosopher such as this. Check the principle behind your desire and attitude. By diligently applying these 13 principles inspired by Stoicism, you can dramatically shape your destiny and live an excellent life defined by wisdom, virtue, and equanimity. While the journey requires continuous effort, the profound benefits make it immensely worthwhile, a path of eudaimonia and service to humanity. As Seneca beautifully expressed, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient. May we all have the courage to embrace what we can control with reason and accept what we cannot with grace. Stoicism also provides useful lessons on how you can fortify your mind. You can learn these lessons by watching this video,